Okay. You want to start at the fountain?
Sure.
Sure. You want us both
I'm
in frame?
I'm in F5, so I'm okay. 1, 2. Hello, my single solitary viewer. Fucking shit.
This is how we start all the time.
I know. I've said it so often. How dare I
Blooper.
miss this time? Hello, my single solitary viewer. Flouzemaker here, and I'm back on VintageCraft, and I'm here in 700 with Extreme Dummy.
Are you?
This person has built every single thing in here. Every block has been
Definitely.
placed personally by Extreme Dummy and or someone else unknowingly doing it for him.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to take the blame. Yes. So, yeah. This is Fluz. I just completely slapped you. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
It's a secret handshake here, by the way. Just saying. So yeah. You said you wanted a tour of this place, right?
Yeah. Well, we've got something special here at 700. 700. There's a community build going on here, but I need someone who's in the know, who knows what's what, who's who, and what are the most interesting things to see. You know, when we have a server this large, we have some very interesting projects on VintageCraft, and I think we need to showcase a few of them, don't you?
Right, yeah, but I would like if you would step away from my my pet stone because you're standing on top of him. That's
I'll trigger it. I'm triggering it.
Okay, so
Or maybe is that
yeah.
penetrate? I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of working at the docks lately, but I mean, the rest is also all mine. You know. So yeah,
In spirit.
in spirit. So they have called me the mayor of this quote unquote city, although I am not actually the owner, so I've kindly rejected and I kind of failed. So
Yeah.
I remain to be the mayor here.
I thought you, since you had declined, you had been replaced by a carrot.
They've attempted, yes. There's a carrot in my home, which stays with me very kindly. So I thought I was going to move homes and make a house here, and it accidentally ended up in a boathouse. So yeah.
Yeah. So this boathouse is actually what you've been building recently.
I've tried, I should say.
It looks like a boathouse to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying something new, so yeah. Fluz has kind of helped me also with the design of the wolf. So yeah.
It's the first time I see with the cobble outline, and I do think it works. It works better with the cobble outline. So it's always important to try things and see what works, see what doesn't, and keep what works. But I wanted to, while I'm here, wanted to try something with this. It's a boathouse, but I figure maybe there are fishermen who come by here, and maybe there'd be a fish hook or two. Does that look like a fish hook, or does it not look like a fish hook? I'm not sure.
So,
but I did want to try.
So maybe if you put one down here, like one below this,
like this.
Yeah, maybe that looks more like a fish hook.
That's true. Or it looks like perhaps that it's rope that has been tied and
like a chain
for fishing. Or
yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just yeah.
It's to try it.
Yeah.
Try things. If we don't like it, we don't keep it. And if we do like it or think it's an idea that might be worth exploring at some point, like maybe I'll I don't know. You know, you try things. So I was thinking maybe I could try that.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
From the boathouse.
Immigrants
arrive at 700.
Yeah.
They land at the dock, and once they've landed here, they've made landfall. Where's the first place they head? Where
I
do they have to go?
Well, most of the people that get here seem to be squids, as you can see in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to keep them offshore a little bit, just for the sake of it. But it seems that we already have some boats that have passed. So, yeah. The only thing with this area is that we don't really have a town hall yet, and neither do we have a name. So, yeah.
The
That's
settlement
kind of
with no
situation.
name, the nameless city.
Yeah, the city with the lost name. That is us. So we started with this fountain a really long time ago. This is kind of what the center of the area became to be. The person that actually is behind all of this has a house up on this hill here. It probably is the worst house of all of them.
You don't have to say that out loud.
Yeah, he will see it. So this is Simeon's house.
Mm.
I actually do kind of like it.
Whoops. Yeah, but we are on the lawn, and the sign does say to get off the lawn.
Yeah. Well, he should really start on getting a little bit of the lawn going on. I mean, there's little grass here that indicates that this is a lawn, Simeon. So yeah.
And we still have leaf blocks despawning everywhere.
Yes.
This is still an ongoing problem where leaves have to be continually placed into these holes. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. So this is a former house of a former citizen. So we've already had someone that sadly left us, but we get a lot of people in return. So yeah. I mean, this is a really nice house from the inside. If there's
Oh,
still
is it?
anything in here, actually, there's quite a bit still, which I like. Yeah.
So a medieval period house would have a refrigerator.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, yes.
That's just
And-
for the.
And what appears to be flowing water. That makes sense to me.
It's for the witches, Don't
Right.
don't worry about it. We don't house witches here. We just
Very nice,
Time-
very nice.
time travelers maybe is what we
Yes.
house.
Mhm.
So we've got a little bit of a Zen garden here. I
Yes,
think
I quite
that's what it's
like
called.
this. I like the inclusion of vegetables as well as flowers. I like that diversity in there.
Veggies, yes. So this is both from Gemini Panda. So she's been hard at work with this house. I actually do kind of like the bricks in the roof in this one. Honestly,
The
Um,
brick roof,
yeah.
Or well, it would be not necessarily bricks, but rather tiles in this
Yeah,
case.
it looks like tiles, so that's why I kind of like it.
Yes. Mhm.
We also
And,
have a
mhm.
tent that looks a little out of place, but yeah, I mean, it's here.
Yes,
so.
we'll skip the tent and we'll skip this enchantment station. Those are our builds, in flux.
Yeah, the enchantment table is currently held up by a torch, so maybe we should add some wings to it at some point, make it fly or something.
Here, I spot a remarkably primitive build. Here, I think someone was going for the very, very simplistic. Whose house is this?
Do you want to know?
Oh, someone actually liked it on YouTube, so at least there's that. Someone liked it.
It must have been my house accidentally. So,
Oh,
so it is relatively plain, but this is like kind of what I tend to build.
No, I meant primitive, as in quality, as in
Ah.
like in the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
It's
And,
it is slightly overgrowing, so I must kind of address that situation. But
yeah, you might need string for the vines,
yeah, I was planning
because otherwise
that,
they'll
but,
never stop growing. But no, I kid around when I say primitive, but it has
No.
a fine shape to the roof. which I quite enjoy. It's taking something a fairly simple shape and streamlining it, but that's the strength of the concept here. So
So
I like it. I
yeah,
quite enjoy it.
that's the thing with me. Like, I don't consider myself a very good builder, but lately I've been trying some different things with the roofs. So I just tend to come up with an interesting shape of a roof, and really that
Yes.
makes your houses look so much better, honestly.
Yep. A
So
lot of people like think of the roof as an afterthought and think that the walls are going to be what's most important, but it's actually the roof is, you could say, it's your head. So like it's
it's pretty important, yes.
the body is what you do most of the stuff with. So that's you think it's going to be the most useful stuff is going to be the arms and legs and stuff, but technically the head on top of it, or the hat you'll be wearing,
The hat.
it's going to have a huge impact. So it's important to think of your roof when you build.
Yes, definitely. Um,
This is Leather's house.
this is from Leather Earth, yes. I don't think we should spoil it too much as it's relatively new, but I do kind of like the inset on the outside where he's got
Mhm.
the stairs going on here.
Yeah.
I haven't
Well,
seen that yet,
I'm just gonna
so
avert my. I'm going to actively avert my gaze as to avoid any spoilage at this
well,
point.
by spoiling, I mean not going inside yet, because I don't know
Yeah.
what he's planning on the inside.
Mhm.
This is a friend from Kaizia that's building here.
Uh-huh.
It looks kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah. It looks promising. I don't know. We don't
It
know, but it
it
looks
looks
promising.
pretty promising. It has an interesting shape to it because I mean it's not just one square, but it has a little bit of an area here, and it has multiple entries, which I kind of like to see. So yeah, I mean this place is coming together. Ignore that tower over there because it's
Yeah, I'm also averting my gaze. No, the tower is actually going to be a community demolished. So yeah.
probably yes. We're going to try to TNT the place up because we've got the permission from the admins. In fact, the admins want to join.
The horse track, actually, I personally will save this for a later episode because once I have a fancy horse, a real fancy horse, I can race somebody.
Oh yeah, you should
So
definitely
they'll
race.
see the track will be seen once I've got my stallion.
So this is the horse track from Marcus, and I think you should be racing Marcus and race for whoever wins the
Are you
racetrack.
are you kidding? Marcus has like the fastest horse, or one of the like fastest horse.
One of the fastest. So that's your challenge, I think, in this place.
Mhm.
You must win it because
It's good. It's gonna be a long while. Or
it's gonna
or
be
or you
quite a
know, I
challenge.
wait until his horse becomes glue, then maybe I'll have a chance.
So this is from Kiki
We have
Lee.
the stables. Nice, nice.
I
Wait.
really do like this house just because of
Yes.
simplicity.
Mm-hmm. It was very simple, humble house. Yes, I like it.
Yes. I mean, I would say that I would have stairs on the top here, but apart from that, like,
Mhm.
I really do love it. I mean, yeah, there's nothing to say. I wouldn't be able to top that, I think. Um,
If you've noticed so far, my single solitary viewer, you can already notice that throughout the builds that we've been visiting, this theme of trying to do these medieval houses, it has been working so far in the sense that there's still, even though everyone does their own builds, everything fits with the theme, and it all works together to create a bigger picture of the entire 700 area, right?
yeah, so the overall theme is something that I actually thought of, being 500 AD. So the general idea is to just have houses, mostly wood, mostly stone, maybe a little bit of tone of white, as you can see here, for example. Whereas
Mhm.
it's maybe the little plaster stuff that you've got going on in your tower.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to have this type of time period because we didn't really want any fortifications. And if so, it must have been like some type of ruin, which actually somebody's already working on, it seems.
Well, someone is working on that. Well, now you've mentioned it, so we have to see the beginning of it.
Yeah, well, we should. I have actually not checked that out yet. I really would like to go this way because there is
Let's
a
go. Let's go.
really, really fancy thing here. It's a windmill. It's a thing. It's my words are
Yes.
escaping already. This has been made by Tim Olsen, or Timo, as he would like to be calling himself.
Yes.
I really do like this windmill.
Mhm.
And I think it would
Well,
be
that's
really
normal. You're
nice.
Dutch, so.
Talking about Dutch, behind you is a person called the Failing Dutchman. He just passes us right here. Hello.
Right.
He's also Dutch, and he's feeding me chicken. So if you know where the food came from, he has been feeding me. So
Yes, he's been around.
he's been around. Yes, we content creators tend to live off other people. It seems so.
We're basically parasites, is what it is. Yes.
Yes, but I mean, we're kind of like mistletoe, so we're romantic parasites, right? It's
Are we?
yeah.
'Cause,
Well, I would like to believe that.
There isn't all that much kissing going on.
So, what I would like to see,
But like Cupid, I like shooting people. So
right? Yes, yeah, I noticed that. It's the arrows are very hot as well. It seems, and
there's a lot of terraforming going on here, and it's not quite finished. So I don't want to. You can tell as the farther we go up that it's not quite finished, but it's once done, it's certainly going to look very.
yes,
I'm missing
whimsically.
Yes, definitely. Yes, whimsical.
So where we're standing right now, we're
Yes.
probably going to be expanding the wheat fields to over here and stretch it over slightly over the mountain. Maybe have
Wheat
some
fields.
banks like Joey has got going on over here. So the house that you can see like really far up there in the distance, that's the house from Joey. He's one of the admins here, so we definitely have the admins on board with things here, which is really nice. It
Yes,
allows
it's
us
good to
do
bribe
things.
the admins once in a while.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Bribery will get you as almost as far as flattery will, and when you do both,
Yes. we're flattering parasites mostly.
Yes.
That's yeah. That's the thing.
That's
So
right.
the ruins should be right behind this mountain. I haven't seen this yet, so it might actually not be there yet. Don't mind the water, because the water on this server is
yes.
absolutely terrifically terrible. So
Well, with the shaders, it doesn't look so bad. Don't worry about it. But what I said still applies. The terraforming is not finished, so don't judge the products because it's not final quite.
No.
It's not quite final.
yeah.
Sure, Joey would be the first to tell you that he's not quite finished. Terraforming can take quite a while.
So
So-
it seems that this square is going to be where the ruin is going to be. It seems.
cube. Okay,
Okay.
that's a big ruin.
That's going to be quite a ruin. Yes, I hope it's going to be quite ruined. If I
Or
if
is
I may
that
say
just
so.
to mark the maximal boundaries? I'm not sure.
I think he's just claiming the area for now. Yeah. Which is completely fine. I mean, yeah. So off in the distance there, you might be able to see a tree farm. The person that lives there has been feeding me with wood, it seems. So
I see.
my boathouse has been mostly off of that over there.
Oh, actual wood. Okay, I thought you thought they were very good looking, and
No,
that's
no.
why they were giving you wood. Okay, I see.
Would you listen to me, please?
I misunderstood.
No, it's fine.
Mm.
Maybe we want to start lighting up this place as well, as it's kind of, it's going to be used in the future, it seems.
Yes, in the future though.
In the future, yes. In the
In the year 2000. In the
So
distant, distant future.
over here, we've got a lily
Fishing
pad
cult.
thing. It's the fishing cult or something like that.
The
I
cult
have
of the lily pad. I forget what
absolutely
they're called, but
yeah.
yeah.
So this is supposed to be an embassy. So just FYI,
It's supposed to be an embassy?
I don't know. It's probably best classified as an embassy,
Okay.
but it doesn't look like a lily pad. It doesn't look like a yeah. I don't know. I
I
mean,
mean, I like the structure and stuff, but it
yeah,
looks more
yeah.
like it has a religious function, which, to be fair,
It
the
should.
cult of of Lilypad is kind of serving that function.
Yeah,
You've had a few of the cult members who like to congregate together and fish.
it might be something from the fish god or something.
Mm-hmm.
Kraken, maybe. It's maybe they're
Perhaps,
secretly obeying Kraken. I don't know.
uh, or
Uh,
the elder guardian,
yes,
is
I
sending
have
them,
no idea. So
is letting them mine.
we've got quite a bit of ice in this area, and sadly, most of it is being taken every so often, which is not very surprising. But with the water currently, it's a little annoying, if I may say so.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah,
Because when an ice block or ice patches are removed, it creates a water anomaly, and someone at some point gets fed up with it, and they have to go fix the water anomaly, which is very, very annoying.
yes,
It's a
definitely.
little bit like someone leaving like creeper explosions unrepaired everywhere, and it's that too, gets annoying. But that's against the rules on the server, leaving creeper holes, so we're safe.
Yes, exactly. I've been secretly following this guy because I have no idea what he's doing here, but
It's Zorch.
it's Zorch.
Yeah, it's Zorch,
Zorch.
from famous Zorch from YouTube.
Ah, I don't know him, so he's very famous.
To be fair, me neither. But I think that's the Zorch that I think I've seen videos.
Oh,
So,
okay. So let's just leave him alone then.
yes, but that's yet another perspective. Like if you want to see more perspectives of the server, search for VintageCraft on YouTube, and you'd probably be able to find a slew of various people on the server. As I said, it's a huge server. There's like well over 500 people.
Yes, most people that make videos here are kind of same-minded. They've got a lot of similar plans to things. It's really nice to just check it out. I've seen Kaizia. He also makes videos. I've not really watched his episodes yet, admittingly, but I sure am
Well,
going to check
there's so
that out.
many, it's difficult to watch them all, but
Exactly. Yeah.
hopefully the idea is to be able to watch everyone that's at least once. That's my goal, to watch everyone at least once.
Yes.
But I'm not haven't gotten there yet. But this, speaking of, oh no, wait, that's Logic's.
This is this is a house from
Kazia's is
Larching.
someone else.
I think the tent over in the other area is also from Larche. I mean, it
I see.
doesn't look bad. It's just kind of most
it's
people
simple.
complain that it's out of place. So I mean, I'm not very
Yeah, no,
surprised.
the tent. Yeah.
I do like the shape of this house, though,
Yep.
where
It's
it has like
simple
multiple
works.
roofs. I mean, you can see how much roofs can do to a house if you just allow, for example, for different positions of the roof.
Yes.
I do like it. It's yeah. I mean, it's really not bad. And I mean, the people over here, none of us are really builders. I mean, except for you, it seems. But I mean, we all, I think, like to think that we are not the most amazing builders, but we like to steal some good ideas from people. And you know, good stealers are also good artists, in my opinion. This is also a house, I think, or a farming
Yeah.
shack or something from
I would hope it's a house. Why wouldn't it be a house?
Leather Earth, I think. Yeah, I think he called it something else. I'm not sure
see.
why, but it looks like a house, so I'm just going to consider it
Well, there's
as a house.
there's storage within.
Exactly.
Mm.
We've got some new people, actually.
Do we?
We have, yes, we've got
And by new
quite a.
people, do you mean me or do you mean actual new people?
Well, yeah, actually, new people. You've been here for 3 or 4 days, and we've already had 5 or 6 more members. So
see.
this place is growing really, really fast.
Mm.
I do kind of quickly want to show
Yeah,
this house.
I was showing Explorer D's house, but
Oh,
yes, okay.
because
Uh,
I really kind
where,
of adore these buildings over here, where you
which,
don't really. Oh, behind you. Hello.
okay.
Hi. Yeah, I blend in. I'm very
Yes, you're
green
camouflaged.
indeed. Yeah.
No, I mean the sun is setting and I can't see anything anymore.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going
Oh yeah,
on
the
here.
statue, of course. Yeah, the
So
the
this is the statue honoring beef, which is
yep.
something Kelly Joe made. She also
Mm.
made this house over here, which I really like.
Yes.
So just as a quick example, I mean, in terms of when you want to make a house, right? This house is relatively square, but it has some interest to it because you've got the front porch, which is like only
Yep.
one
Yeah,
level.
there's an extruded front porch. Yeah.
And then you've got this thing on the side, which I
Yes.
really kind of like because it just adds an element of interest to it. It's
Which actually, yeah, it's a side tower, which is very similar to the idea I implemented on my own build. It's very good, but this one would be more like an observatory overlooking the. I just saw the sign to keep the doors closed, so to keep the chickens prisoners.
there
So
there are house chickens here. Yes,
apparently there are free range house chickens in there, so we can't go in. But
it's yeah,
yes.
that's where free range eggs come from. They're yes,
But what I do like is that you can tell that the house has exhibits some traits that are common from old houses that are like given or transmitted from generation to generation,
yes,
because you can tell that it's not the same architect, or you get the impression that it's not the same architect who built this addition, this annex to the house. It's not the same architect. So I like the fact that it's two different styles that still work and bring. They're two like distinct styles, and you merge them together, and suddenly the house has a lot more personality.
yeah. I would have to say that. Yeah, it's I do kind of like that. For example, this house over here, not to be very rude, but it's kind of on the plain side. I mean, it doesn't really have any windows to start with, which probably is my main concern. But I mean, you could really spruce it up, and the fact
Mm,
that he tried, like, adding the logs to the side already does
yes.
quite a bit to the building. So I mean, it's not bad. It's just that many things can improve, and so can my builds, of course. I
Well,
mean,
for now, I would consider this somewhat unfinished. It doesn't need necessarily a whole lot more, but yeah,
no,
perhaps like a window would give the impression that okay, now it's complete. Or
exactly, yeah.
if it's a log cabin, perhaps a chimney or something.
Yeah, well, I think if you want to continue this flat roof, I would say a chimney would actually do a lot.
Yes.
Good idea, honestly. I didn't consider that, but I would have to say definitely. Why not? Um,
Because a chimney would immediately break the monotony of a flat roof.
yeah, exactly. It just adds a little detail, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for example, if you don't know what to do with this roof, what you could do is add
Remove it.
grass on top of it, for example. I
Oh,
mean,
yes, or
yeah,
that.
just add something of like possible interest to it. Give it a reason why it's flat, maybe. That's kind of how I build. At least
Mm.
I tend to give a reason for something that I do,
If possible, yes.
if possible. No, Excuse me, that's my voice.
Yes.
I don't want to go that way because that build is very specific. I would actually like to go this way first.
Okay. All right.
So this is really new. I think this build
Yep.
is done
That's by Explorer
uh,
D.
yesterday, actually.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
This is by
She claimed.
Explorer.
Well,
Yeah.
she technically claimed her plot at the same time I claimed my own. So we arrived at the same time, roughly.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
probably.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe a few hours afterwards, but I was
Yeah,
I
I can't
was had
remember.
barely begun doing stuff when she came by.
So what
There
I
was the issue, of course, of having multiple people claiming the same plot, and that's difficult. But it was settled.
it
So
was settled. Yeah.
I
We
just want to just notice that I've just come on this side of the house,
uh
and this part is spectacular.
where are you? Oh, there. Yeah.
At, at the
The rear end is really, really good. So she
But
has
technically
been
speaking, this
working.
part maybe is actually the front, and the rear end is where we were,
Yeah.
and I think this is actually the front of the house. Is it? No, it's not. It's the no, it's the front. Yeah, it's the
So
front.
yeah, she has been really hard at work with the terraforming
Yes.
of this area, and I really like these crumbled walls, kind of like
Yep.
retaining
And
walls.
yeah, and I'm just spoilers ahead. I'm going to be doing something very very similar soon
Whoa.
myself. I hadn't seen this, but this is exactly what I was going to be doing soon. So it's going to
Aha.
look very, very similar. But it's basically, yeah, that's the next step for my build.
It's yeah, it's gonna look very interesting. I think. I would like to do something similar. I just didn't have any project where it would fit yet.
Hmm.
So, I mean, certainly at the place where you are building and over here, you've got a little bit of a more challenging slope.
Yes.
I mean, something that I noticed you pointed out in your own video as well is that it's always good to just have a little bit of a challenge. So putting something on a slope might actually
Yes.
make your house look way better than it is, just because you tried it in a different
Potentially,
place.
or at the very least, in my opinion, it is going to force you to try some new things to accommodate the different terrain. Because when you go to on a flat place, and you're always building on a flat place, then you tend to kind of just repeat what you've already done before,
Yeah,
and you don't
exactly.
learn new building tricks or don't new building techniques if you don't try new things. So the idea is to basically force yourself to, even though you feel comfortable using certain building techniques, perhaps you want to put yourself in a situation where perhaps you're going to be forced to try and innovate or look for new ideas.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we're kind of done in this area. It's a little
Yep.
like things are kind of all over the place. We're also starting some terraforming very soon because, as you can see, this is supposed to be some type of a town square, but it's
Oh,
not very flat.
well,
So
mm.
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't have to be the largest town square. There are some
no,
cities, especially cities that are like on hilly places, that just flat out cannot have immense town squares, but they still have little places, which you often call vistas or something.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
where
So
you'd be able to come here and have a place to sit and look at the view
yeah.
or something nearby.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So what we're probably going to do in this area is kind of at least make the path a little bit more gradual. Because if you're down here, for example, it's quite steep. I mean, if you look up, it's a very steep little hill. So
Yes.
I think the best thing for
So
us to
you'd
do,
like to soften it, is what you're saying.
yeah, I think what we're going to do is force people a little bit around this area, so you've got a little bit more of a gradual way up, kind of
Because
like
nobody
a
wants to click on the space bar, right? That's the
no,
problem.
exactly, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
People
don't
are
want to force
lazy.
people to use the space bar.
True.
That'd be too much to ask of people.
Definitely, yes. Have I seen this house yet, though? I wonder. I think I have, but not just not from this side. Yeah, I think I've seen it. So
Just
what I
ye.
yeah, what I like about this house is that it's slightly embedded into the mountain, but not
Yes.
completely. So this person has taken
Mhm.
the slope of the mountain kind of to the advantage of the house.
Yes, and it's also as as we might not have mentioned during this episode, but it's also a rather small build. And sometimes the making something small but still cute or very nice looking, like actually this, I would say they succeeded to make this small build look charming and nice,
Yeah, I mean,
and that's always a challenge in itself. Yeah, but
I think smaller buildings are much harder to make than big buildings. So in that regard, I mean, you're not having a hard time there. So just
I do wait. Hold on, I do want to bring attention to the roof here because we have a roof, and by the shape, it looks wooden, but by the shape, I would say this is actually a thatched roof,
yeah,
and it's a
be,
it's
because it's
made with
rounded.
hay or something.
Yeah,
Yes, because of how it's rounded, and over time, the thatched roofs uh, kind
they
of slump.
they kind of darken. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
see what you're going for. Um,
But it's a small build, but the curvature of the roof just brings things very very interesting, and
yeah,
that's something to note as opposed to perhaps always making the same triangle on top.
it brings stuff together. I definitely would like to
Yes.
say that.
Hmm.
I think I'm actually going to be changing the roof on the villager shop over at Spawn. You will be seeing that shop quite a bit. It's probably in pretty much every single person's episode.
Well, the villager shop is a bustling business to say the least.
Yes, it is. It has like prime position. It's like a 5x7 area, very small. Um, but it's in a pretty good location, so I'm kind of happy about that. So yeah, but in contrast, I'd have to say that this is probably uh well very big and actually very cute at the same time.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
He doesn't want to say it's cute, but I think it is kind of whimsically. It has this little appeal to it where it's yeah, what would you say? I mean, it certainly states like, this has been a very rich family and they have
Or
built a lot of stuff to like
it's
onto
a
the
family
building.
that's been here for a long time,
Yeah,
obviously, and they've expanded.
so they've been saving money to do these type of things, and
Hmm.
they've spent their money wisely by uh, pretty much just building onto the same lot, so they didn't have to pay for another lot somewhere.
Exactly.
I honestly, if I would live in that day and age, I would probably have done the same thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Most like in the medieval period, what people had was family, and so it was important to leave everything you had to your descendants and so on, and they would expand upon this. Um, there's not a whole lot to visit inside because I'm not even quite finished making the interior, but I'm still going with the logic that most likely the first house was probably this one, and
Yeah,
the one at the very top, and over time they kept expanding as the family grew, and with an extension here, and then that extension was
Goes down.
to that extension was added another house, and then another house, and
And a tower, because nothing
and
tops a tower, of course.
indeed.
So
But
what I like about this build here is mainly the way that you're considering the ground, the area around you
Mhm.
with the build itself. So you've got these different levels, and it's a very difficult slope to work on. So if you would just have one level, it would be pretty hard to do something. So instead of doing that, embracing the fact that you have this slope and kind of just have different levels, I think is a really cool idea.
Mhm. And it, from multiple perspectives, it allows you to, when you look from the outside, you can see, well, there's multiple structures, that are together. I think if I were to put this in a modern setting, I think the type of builds like this that you might see in a more modern setting might be some, some ski resorts. You might have seen some, perhaps, farther
Right.
in Switzerland, but like sometimes they build large resorts, but what they rent is not rooms for the skiers, but rather chalets, etc. But they're all united with the same resort, so they all interconnected. In any case, that's some specific. That's like the modern version, I would say, to this. But of course, now we're talking in 500 AD.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean,
So its family is expanding.
yeah, yeah. It's a very important part of life, of course. So, so
But when I make houses, I do try to make. If I make a house that looks like it has lived. And that's why I chose the bone blocks, by the way, instead of the white wool. The bone blocks shows greater age.
I like the
And if
beigeness to it. Yes, definitely.
yeah.
The
And if
moment you said that, I
there's
I
some
kind of
perspectives
got
you might not
jealous.
see, but the roofs are also kind of caved inwards. There's kind of a
Yeah.
slope, and that shows like the weather of age, where the weight of the roof brings it down, where the support structures are weaker,
So
and that's
I do see that quite often, but I have to say that I don't really see that like done properly often. And I think in this case it's done quite well, as it's not like too much of a slope. Sometimes you've got these really
oh.
accentuated
Yeah, well,
big
so
slopes in
sometimes if
there.
you pay, when it becomes very cartoony, but
Yeah,
which can work for if you were making a like a fairy tale type
exactly. Yeah.
builds, and that's very appropriate. But here we're not working in a fairy tale setting.
And also, just quickly in between, what I really like about this area is that you just have a little bit of the grass going on and a little bit of the flowers and stuff like that. Like the most of it was already there,
Yeah.
but preserving that or redoing that really makes things pop a lot. Like for example, that one piece of tall grass right there, it
Yeah.
it kind of finishes things.
Yeah, I did not bone meal anything, even though now bone meal is finally cheap on the server. I still have my initial first day things. So basically, every blade of grass that is here is the original blade of grass, the original flower, and so on. Because I try to preserve the environment I'm building in as much as I can.
Yeah. So
Even if I'm digging a basement for a house, like other than the basement, everything else I try to preserve as much as possible, because that's why I chose the plot for the area that was
yeah.
there.
So, for example, I really do like that you've got this tree like right next to the pathway. It
Yeah,
just makes
it,
things
that that's where it was.
finish. Yeah,
That's where the tree grew.
that's
There's
where it
another
grew.
tree that is, sometimes it's like in real life. The other tree on the other side, some people would have been tempted to chop it down, because this one is almost in the way.
Nah, yeah. I mean,
You
it
you
is.
actually to have to walk around it a little bit, but you can. It's almost in the way, and it's really close to the house as well. Normally, if I had not been limited, I would have brought this house. It would have been brought forward, but there was no room because of the tree. So
So, what I wonder though, like in terms of your gardens, um,
yes.
so what I was thinking, because this is kind of like the three brothers.
Hmm.
Maybe one of those three brothers kind of outlived the other two. I mean, he doesn't hate the other two, but he has his own things and likes his own things. So maybe you want to have one part where the gardens are kind of shared, and another part where maybe
Well,
you've got
technically
some.
speaking, there are three entrances to the house.
Yeah.
There's the entrance through to the tower that we've taken. There's the entrance over here, of course, which is technically speaking the front door or the oldest brother's entrance. But there's also the other entrance that leads to this path.
Right. Yeah.
So when it will come to doing the garden around here, and when I was mentioning when we were at Explorer D's, and she had her like cobbled pathway all the way down to the sea,
Mm-hmm.
we're some similar things are going to have to be done here in the sense that each door will need their its own little path to the main path. One of them already has it; it's right
Yeah.
there. But the other two will need their own, so that the idea will be to first work on creating the little path, and then based on the areas surrounding the little path, what type of little gardens will they have? Will they have? Will one have a vegetable garden? Will one just have a little terrace with a fire pit? Will
Yeah.
what will they be doing? What will they have? What will there be? Will there be a vineyard? What will there be? Who knows?
Huh. Yeah.
But that's
Um,
the things that will be coming up.
yeah. Coming up very very soon. I think that's the thing with the server as well. Is that like one day on the server is a lot. Like so many things just change on
Yeah,
an
things
hourly
things change.
basis.
Yeah, very quickly. It's quite surprising. It's quite startling.
Yes,
In
like
fact.
yeah. I mean, the first episode that I made,
Mhm.
I think was a week or two ago. Um, and I mean, look at the place now. It's kind of like we're filled. I mean, we don't have any plots left. Pretty much, we have to expand again.
Well, I think have we seen all of 700?
Well,
Just about.
just about. I mean, maybe one or two houses over there we accidentally missed. Like the house I'm looking at right now is a very small, really intricate build. Um, with the little,
The little cobbled chimney on top.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah, it's very nice
probably
actually. I like it.
I think is my most favorite one in this area. But apart from that, I think we kind of seen it all. Um,
Mm.
So you've got the windmill back there. You've got the bakery next to it. You've got the docks with my boathouse, cow farm, which is supposedly also mine. And then you've got the center. I think a bank is going to be close to the center, the city center. Someone's working on that as well.
Mm.
And we've got a lot more projects actually just coming up. So
Mhm. So
it's
if
yeah.
if you enjoy if you're on the server and you enjoy ancient type buildings, you might want to consider coming around and asking if there's room for you. And I'm sure there's room for more.
There is plenty room, but we will probably have to expand once again. So, I mean, for
Hmm.
example, that area over there where you're looking at, it's plenty space. We tend to space things out quite a bit to make sure we've got space for some greenery.
Mm.
But
was close.
That was so close. You've been practicing, haven't you? It seems. Yeah, I'm not really much of a PvP type of guy, so I tend to be building, even though I'm not really great at it.
Yeah. Hey, Minecraft, we can do whatever we want.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I like
But
about this game.
yeah, I was going to conclude this episode, and this is the 700 episode.
We are kind of out of time. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for watching.
yeah, and I think you should check out Flouz's channel. His channel will be in the video description below, as well as the channel from Vintage Beef, which makes this server possible. Yeah, I mean, this is
and make sure you visit Extreme Dummy, because there's some
bad
stuff
idea.
happening.
Bad idea.
Oh, bad idea. Bad idea.
Yeah, terrible. You should not do that. No.
Okay. Well, do avoid Extreme Dummy at all
Yes.
costs, especially if you like Life is Strange. Make sure you avoid Extreme Dummy entirely.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's very strange. So, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.